Hey everyone, it's another beautiful day in the Mojave Desert. It's 100 on the tell-true, but it's only like about 70 degrees on the polar bear. But it's really comfortable out. Definitely, you can definitely wear shorts today. And today's project is I need to replace the passenger side front wheel bearing on the Suzuki. It's a 2008 Suzuki SX4. So I got most of the stuff out here. I'll set the camera up and jack it up, and I'll show you exactly how to check your wheel bearing to see if it's bad. So let me do that. How I can tell the wheel bearing's bad. And right there, that little bit of play, there you can really hear it. Side to side there's a little bit, but not much. But top and bottom wise. So that wheel bearing is starting to go bad. And I have the replacement right here. So yeah, I better get to it. I'm going to hook the air up and take the wheel off, and we'll go through this step by step. Alrighty, I got a 17mm ratchet to make quick work of this. And I also grabbed an old coat hanger to help hold the caliper up, to help hang the caliper after I get the bolts out and get it off. A good look at the caliper bolts. So yeah, sorry, here we go. And this is the top one. It's just about out, and get the camera under here. It's kind of hard for me to see, but here's the bottom one then. So that gives you a good idea where both the 17mm caliper bolts are. We have a lot of stuff to disconnect here. So let's start with the tie rod end, the steering arm. This is what actually pushes back and forth and steers the wheel. What we're going to have to do is underneath there's a castle nut, and then there's a cotter pin. So we're going to have to pull the cotter pin, loosen up the castle nut till it's past the end of the threads, and we can tap on it with a hammer and it should pop apart. Hopefully it goes really well. This is actually really cool when it works out right, so let's see what happens. Alrighty, I turned the wheel a couple times, see if that would help. Oh, I just saw it move. There it goes. Popped right up. Nice. Yep, she's out. So all I did was put the key in the ignition and turned the wheel back and forth a couple times and tapped it, and it popped up. Usually it's more exciting. Usually it snaps. But I'll take that, and there we go. The knuckle's loose. So yeah, that's good. Looks like my caliper holder held up. This is the part where it usually falls. Alright, so I think next thing I should do is, sorry about that. Next thing I should do is take this speed sensor cable out. And basically what you're going to have to do is trace it up into the hood, disconnect it up there, take all these little connectors off and pull it all out together as one piece, because this looks like it's made to come out, and maybe I'll spend a minute on it here, but I guarantee it won't come out. I had to drill the other one out on the other side, so now that I'm a little experienced this time, hopefully that won't happen. But yeah, while I'm here real quick, I'll give it a quick shot and see what happens. That would be great if you could get this thing out and just hang it here while you replace the bearing, but I know that isn't going to happen. This thing is, you know, this housing gets hot from the brakes and everything else, and this is plastic, and yeah, technically you're supposed to be able to grab this with like a pliers. You know, maybe something. It's kind of hard with holding the camera, but something like this, you know, and like just work it. But I'm not going to do that because it's just going to destroy the plastic and it's not going to come out. I've already pulled one of these and I had to drill the whole thing out, and even drilling it, it was amazing how hard it was stuck in there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect the cable, and we'll take these two bolts off, and then underneath here, now you can see real clearly, is a clamp. Just loosen this bolt, and this is like a new style ball joint, and that'll just slip right off. It's kind of hard to see, but this just clamps together over this pin, and once these are out, it'll all come out. So I'm gonna go disconnect that the cable, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so this isn't too bad. So yeah, here's the engine compartment, and then on the driver's side, right next to the motor mount, is the connector there. So I'm gonna disconnect that and fish it through, and be right back. Alrighty, so I got this fish through, and I'm gonna have to pop these pin. Wow, they're really in there good. Alright, I'll be right back. Yeah, these these plastic pins are in there really good. The only way I can really get them is to try and get behind them and squeeze and pry them out with the cutters. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to get a shot of this. It's way too hard to do with one hand. Alrighty, got both of those popped out. Then there's just this one little 10 millimeter bolt, or you know, Phillips head screwdriver, and then the rest will just pop out, and it goes right to the speed sensor in the steering knuckle. So I'm going to pop that off, and then I can start taking the two bolts apart and pull this thing apart. I also have to still take the axle nut off as well. So I'm going to do that real quick, possibly real quick, if I can find the tool. Here it is, and I think this is already loosened up. Yeah, no, that was just the cheap tool slipping, but there it is. Alright. So fish this through. This is just rubber, it'll just slide out. And that's it. And now this will come with you. And we'll try not to destroy the sensor this time when we change the wheel bearing, which is it's going to take some thinking. Can't just brutally tear it apart and put it back in. So alrighty, let me put the camera down, and I'll take these two bolts off, and I think that's it. As far as I can tell, those two bolts and the axle nut, that's nice and greasy, and that's it. Yeah. Alright, now we'll try this with the air charged up. Wow. Unbelievable. That thing's hot. Yeah, this, I highly recommend this professional impact ratchet. It's unbelievable how strong it is. Yeah, that was really on there. Unbelievable. Alright, so let's see, that's out. I just have to loosen up the newer style ball joint here at the bottom. Pull these two bolts out and the steering knuckle will come out. Yeah, so if both of these are loose, I'll probably use the impact or the ratchet to unthread those. And the only thing I need to take out yet is the bottom ball joint here. So just loosen this up, and that'll be that. Let's see if I can set the camera up. I have no idea where the camera's looking, so yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be a great shot. And nothing's going to cooperate. Wow, this is really tight too. Don't like that. Wow, that's a lot of force. Oh, it looks like I'm just gonna grab the impact for that too. Oh, so unfortunately I can't find the adapter for my air impact. The electric impact doesn't seem to budge it. And this is a really good electric impact too. It usually gets just about everything for me. Nothing. Alright, well, this happens on jobs, so I'll keep messing around with it, and I'll turn the camera back on when I get it. Finally broke loose. I had to, with a double wrench. Wow. Still can't even budge it there. That thing is really cinched on. That's about all the farther I should have to loosen it. It should slide right off for the most part. Just give it a couple taps with the hammer. Alright, we just about got it, but yeah, this lower ball joint, I got the bolt all the way out. So I'll just try and get a chisel in there, expand that, and it should slide right off. This one's being extremely stubborn. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, I still haven't quite gotten the that bottom ball joint off. It's just about off now. I've been working on it for a while. It's just hanging on by a little bit. So one thing I wanted to show you real quick. Technically, you don't have to take this off. I mean, there's enough room right here for you to get at both sides of the bearing, and you could push it out. But I just about have it off. I like to take it off so I can put it on a bench and work on it a lot easier. But yeah, you don't have to do that. The tools would definitely fit in here to pull this out. But last time I broke the wheel speed sensor, which is right here. It's plastic, and I didn't realize it, and yeah, I pressed into it and smashed it up really good and had to replace that. So this time I'm gonna hope I can avoid that. There's enough here. I should be able to go with like a smaller size and press it through there without damaging that. So that's one thing to take note of, and yeah, that's about it. I'm about ready to pull up on this, and basically what I did was I grabbed it here, pulled it up, and then hit it with a hammer down there, and it started to pry apart. I've hammered a lot of stuff to open the clamp up, but it's just difficult. And this one was usually they pop right out. They're not usually this bad, but this one was really difficult for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm just about ready to pop that out. Then I can put this on the bench and press the old bearing out and the hub and put the new one in. Alrighty, so I got the hub off, and I got it moved into the garage, which is a complete and utter mess. That's why it takes me so long to get stuff. But anyway, I got the hub in the press, and I kind of got it set up. It's not set up real good. It's not straight, and I just used a bunch of spacers from a wheel bearing puller kit, just your cheap basic kit you can get on Amazon or at Harbor Freight. So just using a couple of those to shim it up to the press, and I got to be real careful here. Let me get the camera in here. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, the tip of the speed sensor, that's where it goes through, is right here, and I got the plates just off of it, so it should press it through, and the sensor should be okay. So we'll see how it goes. It looks like it did move a little bit. This is going to be it is going to be a little painful, but I should be able to get it. It's really in there good too. One really nice thing about doing it this way, wow, this thing did not really move at all, is you don't have to worry about the speed sensor messing that up. Alright. Alrighty, I'm going to get some gloves Might even have to use two hands. And this isn't the best setup in the world, that's for sure. Alrighty, so here we are, day 3, trying to get the wheel bearing changed in the Suzuki, and yeah, it looks like it's 91 on the tell-true, and camera's a little hard to hold today. Can't even read that. It's almost, looks like 70 exactly on the Polar Bear. So, yeah, I've been really having a hard time getting this hub out to even replace the wheel bearing, so I got a 5-pound slide hammer today. Thank God Amazon has next day delivery, and yeah, it definitely looks a little beefier, so hopefully this will get the hub out for me. I think the one that's on there is like a 3-pound, possibly a 2-pound, but I got pretty much nowhere with it yesterday, and lucky for me, I gave up pretty early, which is unusual. I'm sure if I would have spent all day, I probably would have got it. Between that and the press, I probably would have went back to the press. But hopefully this works today. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna stop the camera and I'll be right back. I'm gonna set the new slide hammer up and we'll see how it goes. And here we go. Let's see how this goes. Oh wow, it's like almost out. Yeah, I can really move it. Yeah, it's just about completely apart. Oh wow, awesome. That tool really does work. I was super worried about it. And yeah, I should disconnect that so I can steer this a little easier, but bring the camera around. And it looks like it pulled out half the race like it typically does. Alrighty, I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick this up, but there's a giant snap ring in here. So if you're lucky like me and have one of these self-locking snap ring pliers, it'll make this a lot easier. And yeah, just ratchet this together. Yeah, right, this one's really, well, this is supposed to work. Wow, these things are just about useless, so I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with a screwdriver and a hammer. I'll be back. So, wow, this is going to be a little hard. Yeah, basically you get your Phillips screwdriver in there like that, and then you get another screwdriver underneath it and pry down on it, and that'll pull the ring out a little bit. And if you got a free hand, try and get a screwdriver behind it, and there you go, because these snap rings are really hard to get. And like this one didn't even move. Out of the two of them, this one moved a little, so I went with that one. But yeah, normally I'd spray WD-40. I can't find it right now, but I managed to get it dry. And yeah, these things are like rust welded. You can see that dark line of rust there. So yeah, they're like bonded together. So I got that started. I'm gonna back up. I'm just gonna spin this around and pop that clip out. When it gets out far enough, I'll probably put a finger underneath it. But yeah, let me put the camera down. I'll do that, and the snap ring will be out, and then I can put the adapters in and pull. I'll have a little plate in the back, the adapter that'll go over here, and the threaded rod, and I'll be able to just wrench and pull that bearing right out. So I'll get to it. Be right back. Alright, so here we go. So this is this piece will fit on the outside of the hub here. And I just have that plate that I used last time. That's here. now I need a plate for the top, which should be this one. Sorry. That's that one. Whoops. Of course, that's going to make it too heavy to just stay there by itself. Yeah. So the threaded rod will go through the hole here, which will go through the hole in this plate. We put the nut on, and we draw the threads in, and it pulls the bearing right out for us. Alrighty, we're all set up. So everything's together. Just have to back this and tighten this, and it'll come right, draw it right through and pull that bearing out. So let's see how that goes. I'm probably going to hook the air up for this. It's really good to note, I did grease the threads on the threaded rod before I did this, so it's going to be under an enormous amount of pressure. You always have to grease and maintain tools like that. So be back in a minute. So I'm ready to put the bearing in, or just about ready. I still got to put grease. Still going to give it a little bit of grease. Just now I just need to find a plate that'll that fits that perfectly. All right. So now get this centered. But it's going to center itself anyway. Doesn't matter what you do. All right. For some reason though, I don't like the way it's sitting. It's because it's uneven. And as usual, I'm out of air, so I'm going to help it along. That's the edge of it. I mean, so hard to tell. It looks like a... Not sure where the camera shut off at, but I finally got the snap ring most of the way in there. I got the camera zoomed in, so I'm just going to hit it with a hammer. The only way I was able to get it was to get it started on one side and hit it with a hammer until it finally gave enough to stay in. And yeah, I hope you can hear it with all the wind. Figures it had to kick up now. But here we go. I'm ready to snap this thing in. Oh, there it goes. Snap. And it's finally in. Finally got that bearing in. I can finally take a look at the back, and speed sensor's good. We're all good, and I think they recommend to wipe off the excess grease in the back, that it'll affect the sensor. I know from past experience that it won't, but I'm gonna wipe it down anyway. Leave a thin coat on everything else back here. There's the hub, and this piece here is part of the race of the old bearing. As you can see, it pulled out. That's pretty common. It's this piece here, right there. So I'm gonna have to hit it with a grinder, hit it with a chisel, and knock it off. So I'll be back. Alrighty, so I got the bearing puller installer hooked up. It looks like in the back here, you don't even need the giant cup. The plate fits it just fine, and it doesn't touch the wheel sensor or anything like that. Fits it really good. So yeah, I just have the plate bolt going through it, another plate on the front, and the giant nut. So I'll turn this in, and it'll draw it in, and the hub will be installed. So I'm gonna set up the camera. Be right back. Everything is tightened. Now I can put the caliper back on. And the rotor. So this has got some grease on the back of it, no surprise. And it also came right off. So yeah, I always put grease on the back of the rotor so it doesn't seize to the hub. Nothing worse than hammering a wheel off when you have a flat tire, because you usually don't have a hammer. So I'm gonna go over these guys one more time. Get that plate. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize it. So this is the first time I ever had like racing brakes, and they weren't real expensive. So I think in the future that's what I'll do. Came with these really cool racing rotors, the vents and the holes. So yeah, quick note: if you ever install rotors like this, the lines go to the front of the car. In for the front, in the back apparently it doesn't matter, but in the front it's they're supposed to be this way so they dissipate heat better. So there's the rotor. And you can see these actually have two little holes to pull. That's how hard they get stuck on sometimes. Alrighty, so now the rotor's on. I can put the caliper back on. I have to throw the brake pads back in.
Oh, treasure. Treasure.
Now, something that almost always happens out here, it's been dry, it hasn't rained or anything, but I doubt this is going to fit back on without jacking the car up. I'm sure it sank into the ground over the last couple days. Oh, wait. Oh, it barely fits. Yep. That surprises me. Usually I have to jack it back up. So, of course, the grease gun fell in the dirt. Alrighty. Well, it looks like that'll do it for the wheel bearing. Hopefully she'll be good for a long time. I've replaced both the fronts, and I'm sure the rears will come up at some point. Like I said, I'll be doing more videos about the Suzuki. This one, like a lot of others, has a high-speed wobble, and like I've said before, I've chased it. I've gone over a lot of stuff and still haven't really found it. So, well, it looks like that's going to do it for today. I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. I always learn something. And, you know, if you like it, press the like button. If you don't like it, press the don't like button. But till next time, I'll catch you guys later.